Hi everyone, I'm Soning. Today I'm going to document about the creation that I create to represent the child that I have been observed during the whole process of pedagogical documentation. As you can see, the creation that I did was an orange monster and one blue Thomas train at the side. The reason of create this monster is because I realized that she really liked monster a lot. For example, one of the day, she pretend herself as a monster and say, I am a monster, I want to eat you, by doing the action as well. Open her mouth or shake the hand and say yummy yummy. And the second reason is because during one of the drawing activity that I did with her, she also draw a lot of monster on the paper. And before I create this monster, I also have a dialogue session with Lam by asking some questions like, Lam, can you tell teacher what is your favorite thing or item? And after she thinks, she tell me that she like monster. And to know more detail about monster, then I also ask her what color of monster that she like, and she tell me that she like the orange colors monster. And this the few reasons why I choose to create the orange monster. This creation will fully talk about the journal about Lam in her communication and language development. Now, let me to tell you a bit about the Lam background. Okay. The child that I choose is called Lam. She is 5 years old. It's a Chinese girl. And she is a very quiet and very shy girl at home and at school as well. And normally she will speak Mandarin, although the people speak English with her, she was like won't answer, or she just nod or shake her head, or she just quiet. And during the interview with Lam parents, the parent also mentioned that at home normally they was only speak Mandarin with Lam. So this also one of the reason that cause she's not confident in speaking up in English. And Lam has joined our school from 3 years old. And the reason of helping Lam is to help Lam in her communication and language development so that she can express herself through communicating and answering the questions confidentially in English. Before the whole process begins, I have done the observation by using running record during the school hour with Lam. And through this observation, I realized that she was not confident enough in speaking English and is not taking initiative to play with her friends, and she is more likely to follow behind, observing what her peers are doing around her. Before I come out the activity or lesson with her, I observe her again as well by using a running record. I realized that Lam does not know how to take initiative to communicate and play with her friends, and she cannot speak correct or fluent English in a sentence or answer the question, and she could not retell the story when her friend is reading the storybook with her. The reason why I say she could not retell the story is because during observation, I realized that when friend requests Lam to share her story, the storybook that she read, but she could not say anything. She just sit at the side and sometimes just shake or nod her head. She won't answer anything. or maybe she's not confident to speak out. So from this, I decided to prepare a storytelling activity with Lam, because I observed that she liked to read storybook at the reading corner. And the material of this activity is only the storybook, which only storybook that you can see in the picture here. And next two paper puppets, one is A, represent A, and one is duckling. And for this activity, they will have 4 friends or peers will listen the story with Lam. And during the storytelling sessions, I also will ask the close-ended questions, because it's the first activity that I did with her. So I won't use the open-ended question, because when I ask the open-ended question, might be too difficult for her to answer me. And closed-ended question is easy for me to check her knowledge, her vocabulary. And use the closed-ended question can slowly build up her confidence by starting to answer the question, like she can answer yes, no, or few words to represent her views. Like for example, teacher asks like, what animal is this? Maybe she can answer me is cow, pig. She can give out the simple words. And at the end of this activity, I realized that Lam was able to answer the question that asked by teacher. Even though first she was shy and she was not able to answer the question, but when she saw her peers were answering, she also can answer. And before ending the story, I feel surprised that she was trying to recall back the story that she had heard from me and spoke out by using the simple sentence, although they have some mistake, but it's a good improvement for her. And you can see here is one of the picture that when I do story with her, she's retell the story and see the pictures. And after this, I also continue to observe her. And on the second observations, I observed that Lam is requesting a recycled paper for drawing from teacher by speaking out a few sentences, but the sentence is not proper sentence, but at least she tried. And she also could not explain the story about her drawing in a correct and full sentence, but she is able to speak out some words and simple words. And that's the reason I come out the second activity, which is a free drawing and explain her own drawing. The reason why I create this activity also because during the interview with the mother also mentioned that she like to do drawing and create something new by herself at home. So I think she's interested to do drawing, and I hope from this activity Lam is able to communicate ideas and information by using drawing, and she is able to speak simple sentences to explain about her drawing. And you can see this, the final that she draw. You can see on the bottom is a lot of monster. There's monster, and the bottom is the car. And during this activity, I will use one-to-one section with her, because it's easy for me to check her ability and what she spoke out. And first, Lam will take 10 to 15 minutes to do her drawing, and she needs to explain the story to me while she will complete. At the end of this activity, she's willing to express her own drawing idea story to me by speaking out the sentence in English. And she also trying to answer some of the questions that asked by practitioner after she share about her drawing, and she was enjoying during the drawing time. And after this activity, I have do the third observation to check her progress. That observation, Lam is happily to work in the class and she is able to share her home story to me. And she also take initiative to ask permission to bring toys to show in school. And this also for me to plan do more challenge activity for her. And the activity that I planned for her is called show and tell. Show and tell activity is only need the smartphone to video and her toys that she bring, and prepare some questions that might ask her during the show and tell. And this the toys that she bring is a Thomas train. And for this activity, I have involved all her peers and teachers in the class, because she said that she want to show the toys to all her friends and teachers, so I put all the teachers and peers with her during this activity. And beginning, I will give Lam to introduce about her toys that she brought, and she will talk about her toys and introduce and some background of the toys, where she get this from and why she like this, for example, like that. And at the end, I realized that Lam was able to grade and introduce her toys to her peers and teachers by speaking out the simple and correct sentence. Not only that, she also able to explain on how to play of her toys and demonstrate it in front of everyone. And she was exciting to call her peers and share her toys with them as well. And not only that, she also suddenly shared a ninja story by speaking out the few simple sentences with us. And you can see here also have another picture when she's doing show and tell. She was speaking. Okay. For the last observations that I observed her, I found that she's improving a lot in her speaking, and she always tries to speak in a full English sentence. And she's not confident yet to form words into a correct proper sentence, therefore she could not read the whole sentence. And through this observation, I come up, the activity is called form and reading the sentence. And the material is the 4 Thomas train paper cup and 20 to 30 word cards and a tray. You can see this, the materials, the cards, the Thomas train and the tray. She will put the cards on the tray first, then only she start to do the things, do the activity. In this activity, I also will do one-to-one with her. First, I will show and demonstrate on how to use the material for Lam first. After that, I will let her to try and let her to do. At the end, Lam was able to read most of the word cards that prepared by practitioner. And not only that, she was trying to form few of the sentence, but sometimes still need practitioner to translate the sentence for her, because she don't know how to form a sentence, English sentence yet. So she will tell me in Mandarin, so I will translate the English sentence for her to form it. And when I translate the sentence for her, she was able to pick out the words to form in a sentence and read it out correctly. She was able to read all the words, the simple words, but she cannot form the sentence only. Maybe this activity still not really complete and successful, but I will continue to do with her. And this is the picture that when she's trying to form a sentence. And this is the 4 activity and that I did with her before. And from this journal, I learned a lot of documenting about LUM learning progress in a communication and language development. And I received a great satisfaction of seeing LUM has improved well at her communication and language development, because begin she was as a quiet and shy girl, and now she has shown a great improvement after the observation and lesson plans that I planned for her. And now she's able to answer the question that asked by teachers, friends, by using simple and proper English sentence. And she also able to express herself by taking initiative to have a conversation with any teachers and peers. And I will continue to assess and plan more activity which help her to develop in order to reach the potential in this area. The end. Thank you.